It's a real Hollywood movie.
It's just...
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Say what again?
Love your suit.
Los Angeles, everybody want to be star. You have to be the best and never give up.
When I get up on stage in front of people, all I can think about is, what if they laugh at me? You, man, you're fearless. I want to feel that too.
I don't care. I'll do it. You and me, we both have this dream.
Yeah, I guess we do. Wish we could just make our own movie.
A great idea.
The Disaster Artist is directed by James Franco and is the story of the man responsible for writing, directing and producing the cult hit classic The Room, Tommy Wiseau. The film opens with a brilliant introduction scene of Tommy in an acting class, and he befriends the character of Greg, played by his brother Dave Franco. They hit it off as unlikely friends and they move to LA to make their dreams of becoming a Hollywood superstar a reality. This is a very heartwarming, funny film, and while it is very funny in places, I was really surprised that it's not a mockumentary.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised about this film. Not so much that it wasn't a mockumentary, but like we expected laughs.
Yeah.
You know, like you see the people that are involved in it. James Franco, Dave Franco, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, funny guys,
like,
normally.
Heaps of other people
Yeah.
as well that you could just name for 3 hours, but and the idea of the film being that it's supposed to be a piss take about The Room, which is the worst movie ever made.
Yeah, that's right.
By all reports. I haven't actually seen it.
Yeah, right.
But for me, what really surprised me was not the style of it. It was the fact that it was a lot deeper than I expected.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
there's actually a lot of heart in this movie.
Absolutely. James really has respect, I think, for Tommy Wiseau as a character, and it really comes through. There is an emotional depth to his performance, which I was really surprised at. Apparently, he's been nominated for some awards.
Yeah, just recently, he's been nominated for the SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild.
Yep.
Which is a very good indication that he may well also get an Oscar nomination. They usually pair up.
Yeah.
Aside from that, he's also received a nomination for Best Lead Actor in a Musical or Comedy for the Golden Globes.
Nice.
So he is getting the kind of recognition that I think he deserves.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He seems to be in the head of Tommy Wiseau, which is almost impossible when you think about who Tommy Wiseau is. We don't know how old he is. We don't know where he gets his money from. We don't know where he's from. He's an enigma.
This guy is a Fruit Loop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But he's a Fruit Loop with a vision. And
Yeah.
I think James kind of respects that.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And it certainly comes across in his performance. He's starting to prove himself to be quite a versatile actor who's capable of those moments of comedy.
Yeah.
But with that sad clown kind of performance that, Adam Sandler will occasionally tap into.
Right.
You know, where...
Like James just does it better here, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down. Do you think, Timsy, you've obviously seen The Room. I haven't.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's essential viewing to see The Room first?
I don't think it's essential viewing because it worked for you.
Yeah.
And I think it'll work for a lot of other people. I have seen The Room multiple times. I get a kick out of it. It's a great watch. I think James has watched The Room in a completely different light. He crosses me as the guy that's sitting there and pausing and taking notes, while the film's playing. Because you look at the scene recreations,
Yes.
that are in the film, and they are note perfect, man.
Almost inch perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like shots out of focus, or the framing's not right, and terrible acting, and it's all there.
In terms of essential viewing, as I said, I haven't seen it, but I do have a knowledge of The Room.
Yeah.
I know that Tommy Wiseau is this aloof enigma. I do know that it's the worst movie ever made, apparently. And I do know that people have a lot of fun with it. So I think at least having that knowledge going into it certainly helps.
Yeah, I think it helps, man. I wouldn't mind checking out the book that this film is based off as well, because apparently the book goes further into more detail on the making of The Room and things like that.
So the book's called The Disaster Artist, and it's written by Greg Sestero, who is the character that Dave Franco plays in the movie.
Right, yeah.
Which is pretty much Tommy Wiseau's right-hand man, essentially.
Still doing projects together all these years later, which is amazing,
It's actually testament to, I think, Greg's ability to stay in friendships that might not be the most reciprocal. friendships going around. Like, I imagine he'd be a really awkward person to be friends with, Tommy Wiseau.
Absolutely, man. And like the film itself even sort of plays to that. Their introduction scene is a little weird, and then moving to LA, it is a little strange. The film really respects that, and that's what I really loved about the film, is not just the funny, but the value of friendship, you know, and sticking it out together and making your dreams become a reality.
It does certainly hit you over the head a little bit with that message. Like, it's not subtle at all.
No.
It's the kind of movie that the only subtle thing about it really is the fact that it does make you care about Tommy when you probably weren't expecting to. It's probably the funniest movie of the year.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, like, I can't think of many others that I would say are in that class.
No, I was in stitches, man. I mean, particularly once they get on set, you know, and they start making the movie. I mean, right from the auditions, you know, how they've got... I'm just thinking about it now, but the scene where Lisa's being auditioned, right, and Tommy's getting her to ride a horse, you know, and the ice cream and things like that. Things that are not in the movie whatsoever.
Can I just call him Chris R? No, can I just call him Chris? No. Chris R is his name. You call him Chris R. Like, you know, this guy is just weird.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, the best laugh.
One thing I love is actually the backstory about how you really need to stay for the end of credits scene. By the way, I've heard good things,
which I missed.
Yeah, me too, actually. But I do want to go back and watch it just to see this.
Yep.
But apparently, Tommy Wiseau was very complimentary about the film. He said that the book got his life 40% right, and the film got it 99.9% right.
Is that right?
Yeah, and apparently Tommy, the only problem that he really had with it was that there was a lighting issue in one of the early scenes or something stupid like that. Right. And they're just like, it's just a random dude.
And how many lighting issues are actually in the room?
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, yeah, I'm sure James Franco took that criticism very on board. Like, he was like, you know what? Yes, we need to be more like The Room. That's what we're looking for.
It's a real Hollywood movie.
It's just, you know, you take aside the fact that The Room is an absolute mess of a film, right? You look at it and you sit there and go, well, here's a guy that has a dream.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got the money, but he's got it.
Yep.
And he's got the determination, the desire. He hasn't the skills, but he's made a movie. He's made a feature-length movie.
Right.
And, like, you know, as a filmmaker yourself, you understand how hard that is to get off the ground.
It is, man. Like, you know, any group project that you take on board, like, you know, I'm working on a short film at the moment. I've made albums, you know, as a solo artist and also part of a band. And there's still a bunch of people involved in making those things happen, and it's tough, man. And there's so many points you want to throw in the towel. Yeah. You know, but here's a guy, as you said, he doesn't really have the skills to do what he needs to do, but he's going to make it happen. You know,
and he did.
And Dave Franco's character Greg says that. He goes, "That movie up there, man, you made it. You made that film happen."
Yeah, I thought the performances were good. Like, I mean,
everyone's great.
Obviously, James was amazing. We've mentioned that, but I thought Dave was solid.
Yeah.
Seth was funny.
Yep.
I just like seeing Alison Brie on screen for no reason.
No, it doesn't really matter what she says or does, right?
Yeah, I've got no ulterior motive whatsoever. But yeah, it is a really good film. I do have one criticism though, major criticism, and it's the amount of shaky cam that I felt was unnecessary for the style of film that it is. This is a professional production.
Yeah.
It's not meant to look amateurish. It's meant to show how amateurish The Room was.
Sure. I think it was obviously a very deliberate stylistic choice to go in that direction, to give it more of a documentary type of feel. And I can see maybe James sitting there saying, okay, cool, we'll go in this direction. But what I don't think he expected is that the cast are so solid here that they sell it themselves. Yes. You don't need that. The authenticity is there in the performances alone.
I agree 100%.
What did it get on Pure Cinema?
So far, this is the highest rating it's ever gotten from the audience. 82% approval rating, saying that it's a hot film, definitely worth seeing.
Yep.
A lot of people are probably, like us, a little bit surprised by a little bit of a gut punch that the film has, a little bit of that emotional punch.
Absolutely.
It's critics are loving it, fans are loving it.
Yep.
People that have watched The Room are loving it, people that haven't are loving it.
Yeah, it just works.
Probably is one of the best films of the year. I'm going to give it 4 stars.
I'm going to go 4.5.
When I get up on stage in front of people, It's like all I can think about is what if they laugh at me or if I embarrass myself. But you, man, you're like fearless, and I want to feel that too.
Well, that's the scene.
Oh, you want to do a scene here? Okay, yeah.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Come on, you have to be louder.
Tommy, I
Don't worry about these people. They're only you and they're only me. Now do it. For Jack.
So stood he in the Greek statue of old, grasping the lightning bolt.
Great. Now we're at the top of a mountain.
Okay.
The rain pouring, wind going, and the lightning, everything.
Okay.
Very fine ride, I dare say. And what are these particular precautions of yours?
So guys, that's what Snob and I thought of The Disaster Artist. Have you seen it? If you haven't, get to your local cinema and make sure you check it out.
Yeah, we had a really great time with this, so please let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Give us a like, pretty please, and click subscribe to get Infocus. Franco is getting nommed for the SAG Awards, which is always a really good...
We'll cut that. The poster.
I heard it.